What's going on, and welcome back to another Friday. Not a live stream, but a recording. We are sans Jan today. The man himself, our fearless leader, is AWOL, but Mr. Simple Jack, Andrew, and myself manning the helm. Welcome, everyone, to the Acquire.Fi Friday market recap. If you're not familiar with the video we get on every Tuesday and Friday, kind of what the latest and greatest in the markets, take a look at some charts, and keep you up to date on what is going on, not only in the broader crypto scene, but in the mergers, acquisitions, and OTC scene as well. That is our specialty. Excuse me. If you're unfamiliar with Acquire.Fi, we are the largest M&A platform in all of Web3. Got over 200 different assets listed, everything from whole companies, acqui-hire, tech acquisitions, licenses, you name it. We are the premier shop for getting your asset sold, your company sold, or if you're looking to expand by your ecosystem by acquiring other companies, we're your one-stop shop for all of that. We also run the largest secondaries and OTC desks in the space. Joining me here today, Andrew, what's going on, man? Our resident Firmable and TA God. What's going on, man?
Well, to be honest, I got caught with my pants down yesterday with this market move. I think a lot of people actually did.
You're lucky Jan's not here. He'd be yelling at you right now.
Yeah. I mean, it was a pretty wild price action. I don't think anyone saw this coming. Extremely volatile, right? We just had the FOMC. Powell had his speech. He was leaning a little bit more hawkish in his speech, more like neutral to hawkish, I guess. And so, we were just kind of right here on this candle. Oh, sorry, my bad. We were just right here, right before that big pop. And for me, I personally was I do feel more closer to the short side, just because, again, we had, bearish momentum. We had overbought conditions, low volume. And we just kind of got through this fundamental event. And then same thing with ETH. Before it broke out of this range, we still had a fib range from this high to this low. And then we had short reload zones over here as well. And then we also had a bearish day on the MACD, which is now invalidated now as we broke higher, which is good to see. And the main thing about this pump was just mainly off of that UK trade deal. So in the morning, or I guess nighttime if you're in the US, Trump came out saying that at 10 a.m. tomorrow that he would come out and talk about a trade deal. And then throughout the day, pretty much news came out that's going to be with the UK. And so a lot of that just caused this massive price action to fly. So it seems to me that anytime we get these trade deals, resolution stuff, it automatically equals moon. But again, there was really no setup to long for me. There wasn't any double bottoms. There wasn't any bullish momentum signals. Plus, in location wise, I'm not a fan of buying in red zones. I want to be buying in the green zones, right? And so for now, we do look like we are flying. We came right into an 88.6 right against these previous highs. Market is kind of cooling off now, which makes sense. After such a big move, there's usually a bit of a pullback. But we still have a bearish divergence on the MACD for Bitcoin. It's invalidated on ETH, which is quite interesting to see the strength in ETH compared to Bitcoin right now. But again, we are quite overbought. There's no structure here. And I'm not a fan of chasing tops or top lasting either. So I'm personally just going to be sitting and waiting and letting these ranges resolve. So I personally would look for a pullback to at least that 38.2. This is measured from the lows of here to the highs. And then just try to see if we can kind of get a nice pullback back into the range here, perhaps, and then see some kind of structure. But for now, I'm pretty much hands off. I'm mostly just watching for corrections. If we do continue higher, great. There are some alt bags that we are holding still. But yeah, that's pretty much it for Bitcoin for me. Ethereum obviously looking very strong. If you also look on ETH Bitcoin chart, you'll notice that it's actually kind of bottom now. nice little double bottoms. But again, like, you want to be buying in green boxes, right? You want to come into these reload zones. And as you can see, this reload zone held very well. We bottomed out really well. Like, I know a few weeks ago, we talked about this daily double bottom. I said once this double bottom comes in, we should see a pretty big rally within the alts and stuff. We kind of got halted here against this like range. And then this big dildo candle pretty much saved the day. I think the main thing was really just like that UK deal going through. And then obviously Trump actually later in the night pretty much came out and said like, hey, you should go buy stocks now. He pretty much said like the bull market's coming, you should go buy stocks today, which is pretty wild for a president to say. And so that caused a little bit of an extra push. ETH still looks really strong here, to be honest. Like, the only thing I see is like we're quite overbought. But we don't have any bear divs anymore, so that's like pretty good. And then we have pretty much up until this 38.2 level, which is around 2400, before I start seeing kind of resistance coming again. And that's pretty much measured from this top to this bottom. 38.2s are your first stops usually, and then obviously it's going to have to climb the wall of worry, break through those short reload zones like we did back here. And then we can see maybe higher prices. But for now, can't chase. It's really nothing to do. Just enjoy the up rally that we're seeing right now and wait for pullbacks and setups. Yeah. So that's it for me for Bitcoin ETH.
Green days are happy days in the crypto world, man. It's looking good. Before you move on from that, I was gonna say real quick before we move on from the ETH Bitcoin charts there, is this looking like we're finally getting an altcoin season set up? You mentioned Bitcoin slowing down while ETH still having some room to run. Are we gonna see a little bit of an altcoin season here?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, anytime we see a big move in ETH like this, it's pretty good for the altcoins. And then the main thing for me is also the fact that like ETH Bitcoin has like bottomed. Let me see if we can pull up this chart. ETH BTC has also put in a nice fat W. So the fact that ETH Bitcoin is bottoming, right? ETH is going to be is slowly outpacing Bitcoin here, and this is generally very good for alts. So I'm pretty positive, feeling pretty good in my bags. But again, if for some reason these starts nuking really hard, the market's going to collapse along with it. So, but overall, looking very bullish, man. Like, this daily W was really nice. This range broke out to the upside, which is great to see. We invalidated the bear divs. We are a bit overbought, so like I feel like this does need to cool off a little bit. Maybe reset the counter, but yeah, I mean, everything looks really bullish. Like, we still have the buy signal and the hash ribbon. You know how we talked about this last month or 2 months ago? That pretty much was like the bottom signal, really. We got the wipeout, and then we got that last double bottom back here, and that was it. That's all she wrote.
Up, and away.
Yeah, so these are like the structures you want to look for. You want to look for those W's, and that's kind of like how you want to like enter these trades. But yeah, right now, don't see anything. We're just kind of up. So waiting for some structure now.
Yeah, I think that the FOMC, the pump after the FOMC caught a lot of people off guard. I know all of us talking on Tuesday didn't have any big expectations for any sort of a pump really over 100K. Most of the big TA guys that I follow, even the guy I consider the GOAT, Eric Crown, thought we were going to have a bit of a pullback, around 100K. But Bitcoin's going to do what Bitcoin's going to do, blasted right on through up to 104K. And looking real good for the rest of the month here. Is there still an opportunity maybe later this month where we see the old sell in May and go away for the summer?
Yeah, possibly. Like, if you look at the tech sector seasonality stuff, it's pointing for like mid-May, like, kind of like right there. So maybe next week, the following week on Monday, we might start seeing some kind of reversal. But again, I mean, who knows, right? These are just kind of like guidelines. If you also look at like Oh shoot, sorry, I remember I was not sharing the chart. So there's that, and then there's this one here. So this is the tech sector. So pretty much in May, like that's kind of the sell-off that we were kind of expecting. So we're slowly coming into that midweek of May. So maybe we get a correction, maybe we don't, maybe it's just a small one. I don't know. But if these trade deals keep coming through, because like I know like there's going to be more coming now after this UK one, and I think they're talking about China. It's coming up next, and then Japan as well, and a few other countries. So I think they're talking in China on Monday. So again, we'll see how that resolves. But if we look at May overall, Bitcoin generally is very bullish in April, May. And so, April we finished strong. May we're actually starting off pretty good so far. So maybe seasonality wise, and past trends, we get a nice finish to May. If you look at giant barometer stuff as well, we talked about the summer rally that we are all expecting. This might be the kickstart to it, to be honest.
Yeah, and kind of looking really oh, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, it's what I'm really hoping for. Like, this is it. This is the bottom. Like, I'm praying.
Well, I mean, looking at the sell in May and go away, it really only looks like the months of May that closed negative lead into any sort of drop throughout the summer. Looking at that previous chart you had, when we had a green May, a bullish May, the June, July following that looked green as well for the most part on that chart. So going to be interesting to see what's coming up. And as you mentioned, a lot on the macro picture going on in terms of what's going to push the stocks higher, what could potentially push crypto and other risk assets higher. The big thing still looming out there is the rate cuts. Obviously didn't get those on Thursday with the FOMC meeting, but very high expectations for June or July this summer. I don't see Bitcoin going down when they announce rate cuts. That that just doesn't seem logical to me.
Yeah, who knows? The thing is, like, TA can only get you so far. Anytime there's like big fundamental, like macro stuff, TA gets thrown out the window. So like for a lot of our experts that are like saying like, there technically should be a pullback, blah, blah, blah. The Trump card comes in and everything just kind of gets thrown out. So right now we're kind of back to just like macros and
Yeah, it's hard for the markets to go down when the president of the United States is bull posting all over social media. So
yeah, like he told everybody to go buy stocks now. Like that's pretty wild.
Yeah, gotta love it.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, overall, like, we are starting to come into range again, like, short reload zone. This is the total crypto market cap. We're still facing the bear divs, overbought conditions, short reload zone, yada, yada. So, I don't see why, the market could pause here. I don't see why not. I mean, we are in kind of respectable areas of where we should start seeing some kind of resistance. So we'll see. I'm very curious to see what the weekend has in store for us. I personally don't know which direction really. All I know is I'm just being very cautious here, not looking to chase anything, and just waiting for those proper consolidations and pull-ups. Equities, interestingly, it did not break to all-time highs quite. It did try to break out, and then it kind of got washed. Which is interesting because Trump literally was like, you should go buy stocks now. And you would think that people would just start aping, but maybe it takes a day or two, or maybe people are trying to do the opposite. Who knows? But, we're up against resistance, right? We're in these reload zones. You got 200 SMA moving averages. We've got bearish dips, overbought conditions, yada, yada. So for me, like, there's no real long. Like, if you wanted to long, you should have bought the W there. Up here, I wouldn't really want to chase unless they start forming another W. If we start getting more double bottoms, then obviously we can do some kind of trend continuation type setups, and then that would be good. But overall, risk on assets look very good right now. Like the whole board, everything looks pretty uppy. Pretty big breakouts on a lot of stuff right now. So Pretty good. Pretty good start.
Love it. Yeah, great way to end the week out here. We haven't had too many of these Friday sessions where we've been able to come on and be super bullish. So love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, seeing a 20% candle on ETH is like, wow. I haven't seen that in a super long time.
A very, very long time. Yeah.
Yeah.
ETH back above $2,000.
Woo! Hell yeah.
Only $8,000 more to go.
Yes, exactly. Like Bitcoin's pretty much near all-time highs already. ETH is still got a ways.
Getting there bit by bit.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Flipping over here to some news stories. Hold on. Let me there we go. Obviously, Bitcoin pumping back up close to new all-time highs in terms of the market cap, though. Bitcoin, number 5 largest asset in the world. Gold, number 1. Microsoft and Apple, 2 and 3. NVIDIA, number 4. And Bitcoin knocking off Amazon for that top 5 spot. Pretty cool stuff to see there, climbing the ranks. How long do you think before we have Bitcoin at the number 1 there? Over $22 trillion. Still a nice 11x from here.
Oh, I don't know. That's a long way to go, I think. But, to pass NVIDIA, maybe by end of year. Who knows? If Bitcoin keeps going up at this rate, I could see it going a little bit higher. Pretty crazy to see that it's like the 5th now. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, to hit some of the numbers we've seen a lot of people talking about for in the cycle highs, if we're going to get up into the $200,000-$300,000 Bitcoin range, which, is looking more and more possible, it's going to have to be above. It might be number 2 by that point. What does $300,000 Bitcoin look like? Just shy of a 3x from here. So that's 4, 5, $6 trillion would put us firmly in the number 2 spot.
That'd be crazy. I mean, I have seen people call out for $1 million Bitcoin. So who knows what this rate will do?
It's pretty wild. I saw call options for June on one platform. The most popular call option for June was like $300,000
for June.
At the end of June. Yeah, pretty wild stuff. Now, obviously, for the call options, it doesn't need to hit 300,000, but they're betting it's going to be closer to 300,000 than 100,000. Pretty interesting to see. Off the back of that, we're starting to see apologies being issued by Standard Chartered Bank. Apologizes for their analyst saying $120,000 Bitcoin price at the end of the cycle, saying it's now going to be too low. Now, if Jan were here, I know he'd be calling for Andrew the Bear's apology on the Bitcoin. Would you call it at 150 for the cycle?
I was actually, I thought like 150 would be kind of realistic. Like 120 is pretty fair too. I'm starting to get more concerned now, like seeing like more stuff like this coming up, being like, oh, it's too low. Oh, we're going to moon to 1 million. That's usually top signal.
No, I agree.
Like,
as bullish as I want to be, I'm also scared shitless every single day. The more I see it pump, the more I see time ticking forward. I definitely think we could see, 200 or higher, but gonna need to see the stars align pretty nicely for that to happen. Cards are on the table, but I don't know. I'm kind of siding with you as well. I want to be cautious.
Yeah. It's because, like, dude, once everybody starts screaming, like, bull, 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 like, we're going to go to $1 million, that's like when you start getting too much euphoria, the Tulip mania kind of idea. So, just cautiously, watch the charts. The charts will tell you, as much as everything you need to know. So,
yep. Yeah, when sentiment gets a little too crazy, then it's time to get out. Now, the thing that I think is on the positive side here, retail is not in yet. I saw some people posting retail's back. Retail is not back. Elio Trade here posting a great chart illustrating, the social awareness of crypto, Google search trends, people posting about it all, across social media. Is that bear market levels while we're ripping above 100K. So that is a very, very good sign for the extension of this bull run. And typically when we see that retail FOMO, that comes at the very end of the cycle here. So I don't think we're ending anything tomorrow. Are we going to see the super cycle that people have been talking about where we rip straight through into 2026? I mean, we're all praying for it, but time will tell, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy though. That's interesting to know. Retail isn't really flying back here yet. Like, I think most of this buying was like institutions, honestly, because like you look at the volume too, like it was kind of like a low volume, and like most people on crypto Twitter were like short, right? So there's some shenanigans.
Always is. I think also we're seeing some of that money from China flow in. We talked about on Tuesday, China cutting their rates pretty drastically and starting to print money in China, 1 trillion won printed, and I don't know how much in real money that is, but it's a lot of money regardless. 1 trillion of anything for one of the biggest economies in the world is going to be impactful. So we've seen how China can impact the markets in previous cycles. Them starting quantitative easing, printing money, and dropping interest rates is a very good sign for the markets. We're going to see something similar when the U.S. does that as well. Another factor kind of driving prices up here, U.S. tether dominance showing early signs of a breakdown. And Bitcoin also, as Eric Crown mentioned here, pumping above the 6-digit mark. Long ways for the tether dominance to fall, which would, of course, continue to see Bitcoin go up. I don't know. Do we look at the Dixie? What's the U.S. dollar looking right now?
Uppy. It's bottom pretty much. If you look at my charts here, we talked about this double bottom a few weeks back, and it's playing out now. Nice tag of the reload zone, and off she goes. The U.S. confidence is coming back, especially as these trade deals go through. And it looks pretty strong here. U.S. dollar looks strong.
Strong U.S. dollar is not necessarily what we want to see for continued Bitcoin pumps, though, typically. But
but they've been pretty correlated for some reason. It hasn't been having the same like inverse correlation as effectively.
Again, we can only look at charts so much, and a lot of paradigm shifts happening right now. So we will see. We might see the dollar gain strength while Bitcoin rips. Who knows?
Yeah, honestly, I mean, both rallies together, like, okay, well.
Another factor that's definitely driving this, we talked about another thing we talked about on Tuesday was if we broke that 98K mark, there was a ton, I think it was 400 million in shorts that would be liquidated, causing that upward cascade. Now we're here Friday, a couple days later, $830 million worth of cryptocurrency shorts liquidated in just the past 24 hours. That tells you a lot right there, nearly a $1 billion in shorts. That has a lot of pressure pushing things to the upside, especially on low volume days like we've seen. So, a lot of compounding factors pushing us higher.
Yeah.
Here's the article you were talking about earlier. The orange God Emperor coming out telling people to get out there and buy the stonks. Stonks are going to go up. That was right before the announcement of the trade deal with the UK. I'm sure that definitely is having an effect. I got that here somewhere. Thought I did. Well, maybe not. Had it somewhere here, the article, but the new UK deal, they are dropping their tariffs while we are raising ours. Looking like the trade deficit between the two countries dropping drastically, and free flow of goods back and forth is starting to come back into fruition. So obviously the market like that, getting bullish on that. Something I'm not sure how the market is responding to is the stablecoin bill that was getting put forward, the Genius Act, the Fit 21. I'm not sure which one this is. but or if they're the same bill or not, has failed. I don't know. I think mixed feelings on this for a lot of the market. Personally, I have not read either of these framework bills. I think on the positive side, it's good that crypto is not illegal in the U.S. anymore, as it has been for, I don't know, the last cycle and a half. However, I'm not sure how excited I am to have the government coming in and trying to regulate and compromise this industry. So I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing that this failed. The greatest living government official alive, Mr. Thomas Massey out of Kentucky, voted no on this. So that typically when he's voting no on something tells you about all you need to know on it. But I don't, so I don't know. I haven't read this. Don't know. What are your thoughts on the stablecoin framework they put forward? I don't know if you have read through any of this at all, or just kind of seen the headlines as I have.
Just seen headlines. I actually haven't looked too deep into it. Yeah, I thought this was about the algo stablecoin stuff, or
I'm not sure. There's a couple. The Genius Act. I thought they were voting on Fit 21. We kind of covered that on Tuesday a little bit. So I don't know if these are different bills, if the Genius Act is a part of the Fit 21 bill. In typical government fashion, there's, I'm sure, multiple bills floating around with all sorts of nonsensical stuff stuffed into. I wouldn't be surprised if some sort of foreign aid for transgender operations in Liberia was stuffed into a stablecoin bill. So you never know. These things are, 9,000 pages long and have all kinds of pork in them. So who knows what this really contains? The Genius Act, a great name for a bill, of course. They always try to put something cute to try and influence voters and influence public sentiment on it. But what's in the bill is what matters. So I don't know if this is good or bad. Yeah, but obviously failing. So we'll I'm sure be coming back around to that kind of stuff here in the future. One thing that continues to piss me off that we see in the market over and over and over again is this constant idea coming back of using Bitcoin as a method of payment. If any of you watching this are out there, if you're buying Steak and Shake, if you're buying Starbucks coffee or your gas with Bitcoin, I mean, I can't help you. I don't know what to tell you. You're literally shitting your Bitcoin down the drain. You're pissing away your Bitcoin. Why would you take? Most people are earning fiat to buy Bitcoin so they can turn around and buy fucking Steak and Shake. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, it's the fastest appreciating asset in the world for the last decade, and you're gonna go buy a consumable or a depreciating asset? Like,
I mean, it's beef tallow fries, bro.
I guess, man. I guess I get it. I get the the news headline like, "Hey, cool, Bitcoin adoption, blah blah blah." This is not the kind of adoption we need. This is the exact wrong thing we want Bitcoin to be used for. And obviously, it's a bit of an education hurdle we need to get over. But more importantly, I think it's just the idea of getting their name in the news associated with Bitcoin. It's good to see the hype around cryptocurrency, but people, please do not spend your Bitcoin on fucking fries and tallow, beef tallow. All right.
Yeah. Seems pretty wasteful, I would say. Yeah. I mean, it's cool to see the adoption coming in and more and more retailers and companies are starting to accept it. But if you're long-term, believing in Bitcoin's going to hit $1 million, why would you want to spend that now? Right.
Bro, we all laugh at the dude who bought the pizzas for 10,000 Bitcoin. Like, that was when Bitcoin was what, $10 or something, pennies. or no, pennies. Yeah. Pennies. And now you're spending your Bitcoin on fucking burgers and shakes when it's $100,000 for a Bitcoin. Like, people, let's get real here.
Yeah.
Here's the article that we were talking about earlier. The UK tariffs. Yeah, definitely a major factor as we see more and more of these tariff deals getting done. The EU is going to be a big one. Canada's going to be a big one. Carney, the newly elected, I don't know, was he president, prime minister, chief Mountie? What do they call him up in Canada?
I don't even know. Mounties.
Chief Mountie. He and Trump talked earlier this week. So, more and more of these major deals. China, obviously, the biggest and most important one to come out yet. But as these get announced, expect more bullish market sentiment. Green stonks, green crypto. So lots of good stuff coming up here. I think this summer, especially when we get those rate cuts, man. I think then it's on from there. Another factor we've talked about the last couple of weeks. We've mentioned a few big things. We said rate cuts are important. Switching from QE to QT. Getting these tariffs settled, and then the uncertainty around these different wars going on. And we're all seeing all of these one by one starting to come into fruition here. Obviously, with the trade deals, we have yet to see the rate cuts, but getting closer. And breaking, this is just a few hours ago, unconfirmed at the moment, but this would be absolutely massive, not only for the markets, but just for peace and stopping this nonsensical war that's going on. But Zelensky announces a full ceasefire effective immediately, shortly after Trump stated he would speak with Ukrainian leader. This 8:35 a.m. May 9th, so about 2 hours ago. Praying this is true and not just a rumor would be absolutely amazing to see an end to the war in Ukraine. Obviously, number one, for the people and for peace around the world, but two, that's going to bring a lot of stability to the markets.
Yeah, like finally, it's been like 3-4 years since this war started.
Insane, nonsensical how long this has gone on, or that it even started in the first place. But yeah, so good news there. And more good news. Gulf of America officially codified by the House. So it's a banner day all around. Into the war, we got Bitcoin over 100K. We've 100K. We got the Gulf of America coming into existence officially. Man, I don't know what else we have to cover today here. It's
USA #1, bro. They're fucking. Right. He did it. He's doing it.
Hot dog rocket ship #1.
Oh man, I do like me a good hot dog once in a while. I'm not gonna lie. Living in Asia now, it's kind of hard to find good hot dogs here sometimes.
That is very true. There used to be a spot here in town, without giving away too much information, that was exactly like straight out of a Family Guy episode. They had like the red, white, and blue banner. I think they were called hot dog 69 420 or something like that.
Oh my god.
They cooked a mean dog. They cooked a mean dog here.
Yeah.
Although that's not the best phrasing for where we live. But anyway.
Damn, bro.
Well, yeah, overall market's looking good. We could pump more. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a little bit of a pullback here now that we hit almost 105K, up from 2 weeks ago at 75K. Insane, 30K in just a matter of weeks. But that's how it goes in crypto. When it goes fast. So be prepared for anything. If we do get a pullback, if we do get consolidation, don't be afraid to fill up some bags. That's where could be one of your last opportunities to get in good before the rest of this bull market continues on. Or I could be completely wrong and you buy and then you lose your ass. So not financial advice, of course. Just guys talking shit here. But thanks for tuning in, everybody. I don't know what if you got anything for us, Andrew, to wrap things up for the weekend.
No, I think that's it. I think just don't get caught chasing. Don't feel FOMO. Don't be patient. Markets will set up and give you opportunities. And just manage your risk and stay safe out there.
Absolutely. And so next Tuesday we usually have our recording. We are trying to figure out. We're gonna have most of the team together actually on a little team retreat. We're going to try and get something cool filmed. We might be able to go live or might just have like a cool on location, all three of us on set together recording. We'll see how the logistics of that work out. But So Tuesday, either we'll have an extra special video for you or no video at all. But give you a heads up on that. If we don't see you Tuesday, we'll definitely see you Friday. Yeah, till then, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe. If you want to get the latest and greatest on all the hottest OTC and M&A deals, definitely check out our GeoFlow channel on Telegram. Check out the website. And if you want to get the real inside alpha on what's going on with Acquire.Fi with the token and some opportunities for pre-sales and other awesome investments, hit up the Tier 5 group. That is our DAO VC syndicate, whatever we're calling it these days. But a lot of great people in there, some smart minds, some crypto OGs. If nothing else, it's worth it for the chats.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks again, guys. Like, subscribe, share with your friends, tag your mom, tag anybody who's been talking shit on Bitcoin in the video, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care.